Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Hi, this is Food by Faith, and today we are doing Salmon Patty Sunday. So, I decided to make salmon patties and some cornbread for dinner today, and I wanted to bring you guys along. So, I have all my ingredients laid out. I'm going to be doing my cornbread in a cast iron skillet. I have 2 tablespoons of butter in here. I have my oven preheating right now, and I'm going to put my skillet inside the oven. And the reason why I do that is because I want the pan to be hot. And when you pour your cornbread into the hot cast iron skillet, that's when you get what they call skillet cornbread, because the edges are nice and crispy. It's kind of like it's fried. So I'm going to bring you over here so you can see what I have going on in my bowls. So this is my salmon patty mixture. So what you see here is I have 12 ounces of skinless, boneless salmon. I have a tablespoon of mayonnaise, teaspoon of seasoning salt. I have some breadcrumbs, and I'm going to use 1 egg in there. Over here for my cornbread mixture, I start out with your basic Jiffy cornbread mix, but I add 3/4 cup self-rising flour. I add, it's about 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3/4 cup milk, and 1 egg. And I do that to the mix because I want the cornbread to have it kind of makes it come out like cake sort of, but it gives it a very good flavor. So I'm not ashamed to say that I start with Jiffy Mix because I'm from South Carolina. It's okay. But not everybody from South Carolina does that, so that's a disclaimer. I don't want anybody getting offended. But I wanted to go ahead and have my ingredients ready so that you guys could see what I was working with. So what I'm going to do is, when it comes to my cornbread, I'm going to go ahead and mix everything up so that you can see how the batter is and the consistency of the batter. And cornbread is a quick bread, so you do not want to over mix anything. You want to basically get all your ingredients nice and moist. So, what are you guys cooking on this Sunday? Are you having collard greens, beans, peas, cabbage, turnips, mustard greens? What are you doing on this amazing Sunday? So here you see my batter. And we're going to check on our pan, our cast iron skillet that we have in the oven. Our butter has melted, but I'm going to leave it in there just a few more minutes. Now you see my mixture for my salmon patties in there. I'm going to add my 1 egg, and the egg and the mayonnaise, they're basically binders. And so with this, I'm going to start out with a little spatula, kind of mixing a little bit, but then I'm going to end up with my hands because I don't want to over mix it. And from my mixture, you see that the bulk of my mixture is the salmon. I'm not making salmon cakes, so I want to every bite get salmon, and that's the purpose. And you guys know that at any point you can exchange your salmon for tuna. And you can make tuna patties, or some people call it salmon croquettes and tuna croquettes. But I want you to see my mixture. It smells really good. And guys, lately we've been eating a lot of seafood, locally sourced seafood at that. Now, this salmon, of course, it comes from out of a can, but I make sure that it's sustainably sourced. Now, when it comes to our crab, our shrimp, and our fish, there are a few people that actually go down to a place called Bennett's Point in South Carolina. They fish there and they bring it back here to Georgia, and we get it from them. Or whenever I go visit my family in South Carolina, I get it right from there. If you haven't noticed, there are so many recalls right now on the latest one is pork. And so I've been kind of staying away from that, not wanting to feed my family that. So we've been eating more seafood and eating more chicken, but again, making sure we know where our food comes from. You guys know that I am a seasoned gardener. I have so many YouTube videos talking about my little homestead here. Please check those out later. Like, subscribe, and share. But it's good to have your backyard grocery store. You know, grow your own groceries. Grow a little bit of something. At least grow what you love to eat the most. And just see how blessed it is to do something by the work of your own hands. So, back to these salmon patties, as well as my cornbread. So I have my copper pan here, and I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. And that's actually what I'm going to fry or saute my salmon patties in. But first, we're going to get this piping hot pan out of the oven. Never sit it directly on your counter. I just have a little trivet and I use that. And remember, cast iron skillets, they hold heat intensely, so make sure you have something when you're taking it out of the oven. So what I used to have an old school Lodge cast iron skillet with the long handle, but then I started having a little carpal tunnel in my hands, and so I switched over to Pampered Chef cast iron skillets, and that's because they have 2 handles, and it's a little bit easier for, well, not a little bit, a lot easier for me to be able to handle. All right, guys, we want to make sure we get all of our ingredients out of here, so I'm going to get my little spatula here. We don't want to waste any food. And I kind of spread that around in the pan. And as you can see, it's bubbling up around the sides. We're going to take that and we're going to place it into the oven. We're going to put our timer on 20 minutes. And remember, I have the temperature at 400 degrees. We have our timer on 20 minutes. And we're going to get that started. I'm going to patty out these salmon patties, and then we'll come right back. All right, guys, we are back. And what you hear over there is some shrimp that I'm frying. You can see here that we have our salmon patties all nice and patted out. And we're going to place them in our skillet. And inside my skillet, I have olive oil in here. And remember guys, when you are sauteing, frying anything with hot oil, make sure you place your food away from you and not towards you. And we're just gonna let those go for just a few minutes on each side. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so you can see that. And guys, while we're doing that again, let me show you what I have going on over here. I am frying some shrimp, and we call these, where I come from, South Carolina browns. And that's just basically their South Carolina brown shrimp. They have a really sweet flavor. They, when you get them fresh from the boat, they don't have a fishy odor. And that's how you know that your seafood is fresh, is because it should not smell funky. You know, it should give you kind of the aroma of the ocean. So right now, it's been about 2 minutes, and we're flipping the salmon patties over. And 2 minutes kind of gives it a chance to get a crispy bottom. Again, bring you a little closer so you can see. As you can see, we have a nice golden brown, crispy bottom, and now we're working to get that same look on the top. Our cornbread is still working in the oven. You remember we put that on 20 minutes. And I believe it to be ready. Nice and beautiful. The edges are nice and crispy. Gonna flip our oven off. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm gonna place, I have a mixture here of butter and honey. And we're gonna place that on the top of our cornbread. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep working these salmon patties and frying this shrimp, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back, and I have pulled our salmon patties from our pan. And as you can see, they are nice and golden brown on both sides. Here is our skillet cornbread, and I have some butter beans and corn. We call it succotash, with a little rice. I'm going to add my Sunday salmon patties to that dish with a little square of that cornbread. Things about to be popping up in here. Let's dish it up. And as you can see with our cast iron skillets pretty much come non-stick. Look at that. Every now and again you may have to season them, but they pretty much come non-stick. All right, guys. And dinner is served. Look at that. So we have our Sunday salmon patties. And I got that from Southern Singing Kitchen. She is the sister of our soul brother King on Grow Family Network. I love to watch her videos and listen to her sing. But we have our salmon patties, we have our skillet cornbread, we have a little rice, and we have our succotash. Guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And come on back and hang out with Food by Faith and take this gardening, and food journey with me. And remember, grow your groceries and have a little faith in your food.